Hi everyone, and welcome to the channel, or welcome back if you're returning. I am Selena here at Sunny Sage 11. Thank you so much for clicking on this video to watch it, clicking, tapping, whichever device you're on. And I am continuing on with the 30-day video challenge. This should be day 22, I believe. Trying to keep track of the numbers, but the thumbnail will have the correct number. But yeah, as I was gathering some notes about what I wanted to talk about, the topic of defining, or in my case, redefining what is home, and considering home to be not always so much the physical location or geographical location, which there's so many layers of this, which I might do a part 2 or just try to get it all in this video. And then there's also like the emotional home that we have within. So before I go further from there, I do appreciate you being here as well. And if you connect with my message, my voice, this title, I welcome you to like the video, subscribe to the channel, help grow the community. And I'm getting my feet, back into the waters of YouTube. I've been away from YouTube for a few years, just life happening and me going through many changes. But now I'm like, my voice needs to be out there again, and here I am. So yeah, redefining home. And oftentimes when people, I feel, because I live abroad, and people will often say like, oh, your home country, your home country, your home country. And I guess I take it from a different angle where, like, yes, I'm from the United States, but I look at, well, the US is my home country in the sense of it was where I was born, it was where my beginnings took place, those childhood memories with family, going to school, public school to university. So for me, I consider Cleveland, Ohio, that's where I'm from, to be my home in sort of like, I don't know, I guess the retroactive sense, or where I started my beginnings. So I guess it's my origins in that sense is what I say. That is, my home country when it comes to my origins. But when I look at like the present moment, and even if I were to say, well, what do I consider to be home at this moment, which for me, Korea feels like home. So when I was going through the process of, changing one contract and exploring something else, I would get asked, well, are you going to go back home? And I was like, well, you mean go back home? You mean like go back to the US? I was like, well, I don't want to go to the US, but I don't consider that to be home, like to go back to my origins. But I feel like there's not much for me there as far as like what is there to go back to as far as what I want to build and opportunities. So I tend to have like a mixed feeling about how do I define home, like it's on this sort of a spectrum as far as geographically. And if you're watching this, if you're someone who has moved to a new country, or maybe a new part of your own country, how do you define home? Like when you consider, well, what is home? Do you consider it from a retroactive perspective, like where I began, what my beginnings were, or do you consider what is home as far as in the current moment? What do I feel is my home right now? And for me, home feels like Korea. And say a new change comes into my life, a new place could be home for me. Like life is always moving very fluidly. So when it comes to the US, it's like my home country. I'm like, I was born there, raised there, but does it feel like home for me? Because I'm like, if it felt like home, then I would still be there as far as the emotional side. And in connection with that, home, okay, geographical, I spoke of, and now it's also like the emotional sense as well, because I feel like emotionally, does Cleveland feel like it's home? Like I have memories of childhood, but I feel like they're memories, but there are things that I don't want to go back to, or there are memories I don't want to re-experience as far as challenges that came up in different environments that I was in growing up, and I feel emotionally it doesn't feel like home. I mean, people will often ask me, and don't take this the wrong way, I don't know if I want to say this either. I'll just kind of pause. But as far as like, do I miss things about Ohio? Like, do I miss, and I often honestly say like, I don't really miss Ohio. I feel like I don't miss it because I feel that my connections and on an emotional level, this environment aligns with me better. So I feel like it's hard to feel like I miss Ohio or miss Cleveland when I don't feel the sense of connection or the sense of opportunity or comfort in that particular space. So I don't feel homesick. That's often a question when you live in another country, like, oh, are you homesick? Do you miss Ohio? And I feel like I don't miss it. I don't miss it. And that's actually a good thing, because I feel that in the years past, when I would feel pulled to go back to Ohio, go back to the States, I think there was like something was always pulling me back. Like I felt like, oh, I guess I need to go back now. Or, I think I've turned over every stone there is in Korea, and now I feel like it's different. It's flipped around, and I think a lot of it has to do with me feeling more connected with my purpose, like things that I want to build and grow and plan in this part of the world. I feel more solidified and more grounded in that. And for me to go back to the US, it would feel like, well, go back to what? Like that, I mean, I can go back if I wanted to, but I feel that there isn't a sense of something that I want to build in Ohio. I don't feel the ground is fertile for what I feel I want to build, or just the environment in itself. I know I've mentioned like feeling safer in Korea. I like the walkability, the accessibility, the healthcare system, like so much that supports my sense of well-being and wellness is more supported here than it has in the States. So the emotional home, and I feel, well, also there's another segment of the emotional home. So I mentioned the geographical, what we connect with emotionally as what is home. And home can also be related to people. Like, do we feel that those individuals feel like home to us on a spiritual level? And that is so important to think about. And when we look at the spiritual side of home, we look at our own vessel, like our body is a home in itself. Like our body is where, let me pause for a second. So the physical vessel, which we need to accomplish the day-to-day, our spirit is what's driving this vessel. So when we can nurture our spiritual home, when we can make sure we are paying attention to what feels right for us, when we are connecting with the right places and opportunities. So finding ways to nurture our spiritual home, which is pausing, slowing down, whatever that spiritual practice is. Those of us who may pray, who may meditate, sing, play music. I know for me, music is a very meditative and spiritual practice for me, like to just be a part of music, or just to, be in my creative space. Like being creative is a way of nurturing my spiritual home. Like doing videos and expressing my voice is a way of me connecting with my spiritual side that has I would say it feels called to spread a message that is important. So by allowing myself to have the space to tend to that spiritual side of what's going to feed me and keep me uplifted and feeling a positive vibration of energy and just connection and feeling at peace. Doesn't mean stress doesn't come about, like stress still happens, but it's like being able to see the situation from a more wider lens and just having faith that this is going to work out because I'm here for a purpose, that I'm being guided, I'm led, I'm not alone, and there is a bigger perspective for why this situation is happening. What can I learn from it? What else is going on in the background that I may need to also be aware of, or that may be perhaps helping me to learn something from this moment. So allowing ourselves just a sense of grace when it comes to those situations, and patience, and allowing ourselves to pause just to see where we are meant to move in this moment. So so redefining home. Home has many layers for me, especially as I have considered changes in my life over the past year. I have come to redefine, what is home? And it is on a spectrum. It is like fluid, but the things that I have gathered an awareness of when it comes to home, the spiritual, geographical, the emotional, connections. So this is probably a to be continued topic as well. There was something I wrote on my blog, I think back in the fall. Let me check the date. No, this was in January, but I wrote about the connection when it comes to home. I was thinking about the movie Dreamgirls, where Beyonce's the character she played was Dina, and Dina sang that song Listen. And it's like it clicked for me that, oh, she's not talking about like, well, she's saying listen, but it's like listen to what I feel within. Like this is about, she's making a call related to her emotional inner home. Like she doesn't feel at home within herself because of all what she feels she's had to, I guess, surrender or turn over power to another person. In this case, her manager was her husband, and you know, she felt she was not able to have a voice in the direction of her career, of her life. It's like all these decisions are being made for me. Well, I don't feel at home within myself. And it's like when I heard the lyrics, listened to the song again and really focused on the lyrics, I was like, oh, it's that emotional inner home, that sense of how do we feel within ourselves, and is that shaken or is it steady? And so I was like, oh, it's the emotional home. Like that's what she's really talking about. And so do we feel that we're in environments where we can feel that we're heard, that can help us feel like our sense of home is also being supported? So yeah, I think I wanted to read something from this before I go. And let me see, I don't think I highlighted that. It's okay, but I think I've spoken what I needed to speak about for this topic. So for you listening, how do you define home? Do you see it as a layered entity? Do you feel that home has different components, location, energetic, emotional, spiritual, etc.? Like what do you consider home if you were to define it? So I'll leave it there. Thank you for watching. Feel free to like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.